And welcome to the Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California for the U.S. Open of Handball, brought to you by Simple Green. My name is Dave Vincent alongside broadcast partner David Fink. Men's quarterfinal match, not the Alvarado Jr. Serving to Sean Lenning. Referee is James Comstoff. Here's the first serve of this men's quarterfinal match.
Sean takes that ball to the ceiling, Dave. Nice reverse down the left by Noddy. This match really a battle of two unknowns, Dave. Noddy's playing just one event in the last 2 years. That was last weekend in Idaho. Sean injuring his shoulder last March in Tucson after a 6-month layoff, and he's been out of commission, but for two events since that time. This is Sean's first event since the Nationals in June. He's still recovering from that shoulder injury. Hasn't played much handball, Dave. We see a nice left-handed kill there.
0-1. Yes.
Score is 0 serves 1 here. Sean Lenning now in the box. Not the Alvarado last weekend in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, defeated young Luis Moreno, but then lost to Dave Chapman in the finals. So he has one tournament underneath his belt since that surgery. 1 serve 0.
Noddy wearing the all black, Dave.
Point.
WPH colors. You can see that on the back of his shirt. Both these players, Dave, with incredible serves. Arguably the two best servers in the game. Quite possibly two of the best servers in the history of the game.
Quite possibly two of the best personalities in the game. These guys are just incredible.
I wouldn't say that. You see Sean there short arming that swing. Doesn't look confident in that shoulder to really let that swing fly.
The score is now 3-0.
You can see Sean really decelerate through that setup there, Dave.
It's almost like Noddy didn't read the injury report. He's hitting everything to Sean's left, but it's his right hand that's got the problems.
Sean actually picking that ball up off the crack and re-killing it. You see, Dave, Sean's lost a lot of velocity on that serve.
Point.
Sean slides a beautiful natural down that right wall. That's one of those kill pass shots there, Dave, about a foot high.
The score is 1-3. You also see that right ankle of Sean Lenning's is all wrapped up there, and that was just a recent injury on his comeback.
While we're discussing the injury report, Dave, we had Noddy Jr. under the scope for that knee
Bad bounce, replay.
just about 3 months ago. Says it feels great now. Also has a little bit of a calf injury. We saw him wrap that last weekend against Dave there in the finals.
These floors and the walls later on in the day get a little bit slick out here. Yesterday, because of the condensation outside in SoCal, where it's been pretty much raining on and off for the last couple days, has really made these courts kind of damp. So we're seeing a lot of strange bounces and some slides out here. But these guys look like they're having an issue with the actual ball, and they're going to replace it. Going to get a brand new ball. Noddy says the ball's not round. We're at the Los Caballeros Sports Village, Fountain Valley, California, the U.S. Open of Handball, to celebrate the greatest player of all time, not a Alvarado Sr. With his 11 singles 4-wall championships, he is the host and he's doing everything. He's going to be barbecuing. He's running the front desk when you check in. He's courtside watching his son. He has a clipboard. Noddy's everywhere. Here he is walking by here with some Simple Green hats. Not the Alvarado Sr.
That's the third ball that's been dismissed.
This thing looks really fast, Dave.
You combine incredibly quick courts with a very lively floor, and these batch of balls that are also quick. And we'll see a server's paradise here this weekend, Dave. Sean Lenning, Dave, defeated Tucson's Abe Montijo in a close 21-15, 21-20 match yesterday in the round of 16. Noddy, much easier time with the big man from Phoenix, Big E, Edgar Medina.
The score is 1-3. This is the first game, 2-21, tiebreaker to 11, and that's just a rusty Sean Lenning right there.
You see Noddy almost caught that ball as though he's in a practice match, thought better of it.
And that's why Sean Lenning is so dangerous. That left hand of his and his right from that position around the hip, and the numbers are staggering.
Well, Dave, you have the opportunity to play with Sean once in a while there in Tucson. And I think you've seen that
Replay.
left has really improved as he's rested his right hand.
2-3.
See the score on the scoreboard here, 2-3, first game. Men's quarterfinal match.
This day was the place where Sean Lenning announced himself really to the elite of the handball world when he beat Nadi Alvarado Jr. here in 2007. That was on the way to the finals here when Sean narrowly lost to Paul Brady, but Sean beating Nadi in that semifinal match 21-5, 21-20. I think we remember that well, Dave, and we saw the emotion from Sean after that win that you rarely see.
3-3.
Unfortunately for Sean, went on to lose 11-10 to Paul Brady the next day. You have to think, Nadi remembers that match, Dave. This is not really Nadi's home court, but it's his tournament, and it's his home fans, and he certainly wants to do well here.
3-3.
I remember that emotion quite well from Sean Lenning, and it was something that we saw
Point.
a little bit earlier in the year when he defeated Tony Healy at the
4-3.
Nationals to go in to face Paul Brady, and that was in Minnesota. So that emotion was really high there. You might remember that.
Amazing get there from, of course I do, amazing get there though from Sean Lenning. Nadi mishitting that serve. We might get a replay that day. He actually backhand killed that ball with his right hand. We might get the guys in the truck, Dave, to give us another shot of that. And right now, Sean's really pushing Nadi around the court. Nadi has been unable to do anything with Sean's serve here. Sean's completely in control at this moment. You see Sean hopping that ball away from Nadi. Nadi looks up at our referee, Jake Comstoff, but that ball just sort of had a right turn on it that Nadi didn't see coming.
6-3.
Score is 6-3. This is the first game.
Side out.
Great return there from Nadi. That's one of those bullet two-wall passes. Sean trying to take that ball on the short hop. Very difficult as it picks up speed off that
6.
left side wall.
The score is 3-6 now.
Big mistake there from Nadi.
Point.
Nice get there from Nadi. Almost looked like he'd given up on that ball. He just stuck his right hand out there and got the right spin on that ball to die that ball in the right corner. Sean was there.
Nobody plays that position or that shot better than Nadi Alvarado. That one where he goes down on one knee. Now with that surgery, he has been more prone not to go down and try that, but there's the first attempt where he goes down and hits that return rollout, front, right, left, right, and then the front wall rollout from Alvarado.
4-6.
4-serve-6. Now Nadi going over to the right side. Look at that. Are you serious? Did you see that reverse that Sean pulled?
That's during the rally, a 2-foot reverse.
6-4.
That ball really locked Nadi up. That was like a Cliff Lee breaking ball.
Side out. Swing at it.
And you hear Sean telling himself to swing at it.
4-6.
We're not really sure what's wrong with Sean's shoulder, but certainly he doesn't have that acceleration through the ball that we've seen.
Side out.
We've seen a couple of sort of strange mishits here, Dave, in the last 4 or 5 rallies that have resulted in side outs and points. Sean just barely getting his fingertips on that ball,
6-4.
and it rolled out.
I guess you would kind of expect that, wouldn't you? A little bit from guys that haven't played a lot of handball at this level. I'm sure Sean and Nadi have been playing locally, but the pressure of the cameras and the crowd and the size of the tournament probably
Side out.
something they're not used to. And you've been playing at all the pro stops. You don't care about any of that stuff, but I think here it might just be a little bit different.
Well, they're also seeing the ball move at a faster speed than they're used to
4-7.
in practice matches at home, particularly for Sean. And you see Nadi just serving that ball way off the back wall, has not found his range. Our referee a little quick there.
Sorry.
Sean has a history with Jake Comstoff on these courts. Some good calls and some really bad ones that he felt in years past.
Point.
I don't think Sean expected Nadi to bring that ball back. He crushed that left fist down that left wall, and Nadi
5-7.
was able to pick it up, and Sean makes the air. Nadi hit some beautiful serves, Dave, to start this match, but since then his serve has been a little bit off, hasn't found that range, and Nadi going for a very high-risk cross-corner kill.
7-5.
Score is 7-5.
You see Sean slowing down that serve, put a nice reverse on it, and just blast that ball. Nadi does well to pick that ball up.
Side out. Or excuse me, point.
You see Dave Nadi just a little bit ginger on that knee. Looks apprehensive going down to pick up those re-kills.
The score will be 8-5 here.
8-5.
Like that serve from Sean, that deep left crack, Dave.
Point.
And you see now, Dave, Sean taking advantage of Nadi's lack of mobility. These aren't really flat kills, Dave, but he's hitting these kills with a little bit of hop on them.
9-5.
Nadi just not reading those hops in the rally.
Point.
And Sean catches that left crack.
First time out, 1 minute.
I think a smart timeout here from Nadi, Dave. Nadi came out with a 3-0 lead. Sean's now leading 10-5. He's on a nice run here for Sean and Sean Lenning fans all across the world. He's outscored Nadi 10-2 here. Looks to be firmly in control as of now, Dave, but as you know, a big server is just one inning from reclaiming that momentum.
That's true, but at this point, men's quarterfinals, this is the first time anyone scored more than 10 points off Nadi Alvarado, or more than 9 points off Nadi in this tournament so far. Sean Lenning got here by defeating Abe Montijo from Tucson, Arizona. Score of 21-15, 21-10. Nadi Alvarado defeated Edgar Medina from Phoenix, Arizona. The score was 21-9, 21-3. Sean's win over Abe was 21-15, 21-20 in that second game. And that's why they're here facing each other in the men's quarterfinal match. The score here is 10-5 in favor of Sean Lenning first game. 2 games to 21, tiebreaker to 11. You're watching the U.S. Open of Handball, brought to you by Simple Green.
This is the first of 4 men's quarterfinal matches, Dave, that will be airing back-to-back here on this quarterfinal Friday. Up next will be Dave Chapman taking on Tommy Little. Nadi seeded 4th here, Dave. Sean Lenning seeded 5th.
5-10. Short.
You see Nadi just about a foot short on that serve. The previous serves, Dave, have been about 6 or 7 feet deeper than he would hope. Nadi goes to that second serve, Z. Did not get that ball deep enough, but Sean makes a mistake, leaves it up, and Nadi's in control of this rally. Smart shot there from Sean. Just great awareness, Dave. Nadi expecting him to go left. Sean held it till the last second and hit that ball behind Nadi. Inside out, right there. We're seeing Sean hit a lot of reverses here, Dave, on the serve. He's got a great natural, too. I'm surprised we haven't seen that. That's sort of that second serve that Sean invented. Now you see other players using that deep left sidewall crack.
Side out.
Sean frustrated with himself. That's as easy a shot as you can have in this game, particularly with the entire court. Had the entire right side there. Missed it.
5-10.
You hear the score, Dave. The score is 5-10.
Point.
There's a great serve from Nadi. Nadi, Dave, a little bit off there in those last 12 points. You have to think Sean's a little bit upset with himself for not taking advantage a little bit more.
I'm surprised that Sean Nadi's hitting more balls to Sean's left when Sean actually has a really messed up right shoulder. Where
Second serve.
you said it was strange that he missed that shot off the back wall, but I don't think it's that strange when that ball that's in that position is very difficult for Sean to hit.
Great
With his-
angle
with his
here,
right
Dave,
hand.
from the front wall camera.
Sean's doing most of his damage with that underhand fist shot with his right because it just doesn't hurt his shoulder to do that.
6.
You've seen Sean modify his right hand swing to more of that underhand Irish whip type of swing. I don't like that call there, Dave, because clearly he gave Nadi that shot. Nadi misses it, and then you hear the contact.
I agree.
Shot at it. Replay.
That's a good call. That's a good call if he calls it before Nadi takes a swing.
Yeah, he had a shot at it, but
10-6.
you don't allow him to take the shot at it and then call the screen or the contact. See, that's very tentative right there from Sean. That's a great example of why how Sean's shoulder is hurting him. If he can take it like a modified Irish whip or straight underhand like a serve, that's different. But when he
10-6.
lifts that up, that doesn't seem to hurt him as much.
Sloppy handball here, Dave. Sean sends that ball up around. That's the shot we saw Nadi struggle with last week, Dave, and he crushes that ball from about 38 feet and drives it about 83 miles per hour down that right wall. You see Nadi knocked quite a bit of rust off between last week and this week, Dave. Much more confident off the back wall thus far.
Score is 6-10. That's the first one that Nadi's been able to get over on the first serve.
Point.
Surprised, Dave, we haven't seen Nadi serve more to the right, not only because of Sean's shoulder, but also I always felt Nadi's best serve was down the right. Last week we saw him serving exclusively to the left. This week, thus far in this match, Dave,
7-10.
just hit 2 or 3 serves down the right side. We'll see if he goes back down the right here, and he does. And you see that serve is just so tough to play. You're already leaning left, so you're going the wrong direction.
Right out.
Sean with a beautiful back wall kill there.
10-7.
Score is 10-7.
Point.
What? Was there a screen there or contact?
Nadi thought that ball was a screen. I agree with the referee's call there. Nadi was actually to the right of Sean there, and that ball came right back to Nadi. I don't see any screen there.
Side out.
Conditioning, Dave, will also be a factor in this match. This is Sean's second match of the event, as it is Nadi's, but neither of these guys with a lot of tournament preparation coming in here, Dave, as they'll wipe the court. Both guys hit the ball so hard, Dave, that takes a lot out of you, as well as just the back and forth, the up and back movements. It's funny, Dave, Sean spoke with us just before this match started, gave himself no shot at winning this match.
Yeah, strange.
Didn't feel very confident.
Clean serve.
That's not the Sean Lenning that we're used to knowing, Dave, but maybe it'll work to his advantage. Take a little bit of pressure off of himself.
Short. Second serve.
Nadi has not found the spot on the front wall to execute that perfect first serve. Here's a weak return from Sean.
Replay ad.
Frustrating there for Nadi, Dave. About the easiest setup he could hope for on that return of serve, and he hits it right behind himself, about 7 inches high.
Seven, 11.
Score is 7-11. We play 2-21, tiebreaker 2-11. We are at the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. Not the Alvarado serving, Dave.
Our viewers couldn't pick that up, Dave, in the back left corner, but that ball slid on the side wall. That'll be a replay.
7, 11.
Tried to explain that a little bit earlier, is that the walls are somewhat slick here. because it's been raining on and off. That coastal rain has been kind of drizzly here.
It hasn't been sunny California. A great 2-all pass there from Sean. That's sort of a defensive shot, Dave, that when hit perfectly is actually an offensive shot.
11-7.
Score now 11-7.
Nadi also with a great left fist to the ceiling, Dave, and over hits it just a little bit, and Sean takes advantage with a back wall kill right into that right corner. You'll see, Dave, Sean hits a lot of his kills front wall, side wall, as opposed to hitting the corner first. With the amount of pace that he generates, Dave, and the compression that he's able to impact on the ball, that ball will hit the front wall and catch that crack and just roll out. It's not a shot I'd recommend for you to hit, Dave, with your strokes. Works well for Sean, though.
That's why he's nicknamed the Freak.
Sean looks a lot more comfortable right now, Dave, swinging through the ball with his right.
Side out.
And that's a beautiful left-hand kill from Nadi. Really, it's just the same swing from the left side from Nadi Jr. Just classic strokes.
7-12.
7 serves 12 first game. I like that serve there. Sean has to punch back to the front. Nadi back down the right, clips the side wall, gets a point out of it though.
Surprised there, Dave. Nadi rushed that shot, didn't let that ball drop. Could have easily taken 3 steps back and let that ball drop and rolled it out, but he just drove that ball with
8-12.
sort of a spike type of swing and forced the air from Sean. There's those great hands from Sean. Sean's done incredibly well to win that rally, Dave. That serve is incredible down that right wall, and Sean picks it up. Nadi had the setup, but drove it right at Sean, and Sean able to guide that ball back down the right wall.
Point.
There's that natural. Sean's been setting him up for that serve, Dave. He's hit primarily reverse
13,
hops down that left wall. That time he leads with the elbow and comes in with a natural.
Side out.
Score here is 13-8. It's the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Game number 1. My name is Dave Vincent alongside my partner Dave Fink.
8-13.
8-13. Referee is James Comstoff. Nate Alvarado serving to Sean Lenning. Sean from Shoreline, Washington. Nate Alvarado from Spring Valley Lake, California. Surprised that they got the 4 and 5 seed based on the fact that they haven't really played any tournaments in about a year in the professional level. To get the 4 and 5 seed is...
I'll stay out of that political argument. But yes, it is surprising. You see Nadi with an air there. That ball had sort of a strange spin coming off that left side wall, and Nadi didn't anticipate it. Makes the hand air.
13-8. Side out.
Sean really late getting out of the gate there. I think he gave up on it immediately, but then noticed, what am I doing? I actually think I can get a hand on that. Sean has some of the best lateral movement in the game of handball.
That's one of the rare times you'll see a pro player take himself out of the point, Dave, for court position. A lot of his kills front wall. Buried himself up on Nadi's left hip.
Okay, 2 minutes.
We have a 2-minute timeout here, Dave. Also, you heard that sort of strange sound off the front wall.
Sean really late
Nadi
getting out of the
returned
gate
that
there.
serve. It hit that hole of the camera right there in the middle of the front wall, and sometimes it'll take a bad bounce off that hole, and sometimes it won't. It's the referee's discretion whether to continue play or to replay the point. But every time it will make that strange noise, so it's
deceiving, and you have to, as a referee, make the decision between, well, am I going to call it off the sound or just off the bad bounce? And like John Bike said earlier, or maybe it was a couple years ago, everyone's a bad bounce, but is it one that's going to redirect the ball? Everyone that hits it's going to slow down just a little bit. So you have to come up with a conclusion whether or not you're going to call those bad bounces as we.
And you'll see how Sean just puts himself in a terrible spot here. Sean should have moved himself behind Nadi there and to the right, bring himself back in that point. You could see just maybe a little bit of fatigue took that point off.
This live webcast brought to you by Simple Green, all-purpose cleaner, non-toxic, biodegradable, and concentrated, custom dilute for use all over your home and garage, indoor, outdoors.
8,
Go green, save
13.
green with Simple Green. That last time out right there was not a glove change, it was a headband change. A 2-minute headband change rewarded by James Comstock for Not the Alvarado. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
Dave, you're one of the slowest people I've ever seen, but I think even you can change a headband faster than 2 minutes.
Hey, I'm pretty fast at the dinner table.
You see a referee letting play continue there. That was the right call. Dave, we talked a little bit about that hole in the front wall that the camera shoots the action from. Sean, actually part of the biggest controversy in recent memory when trailing 10-9 in the tiebreaker in the quarterfinals of the 2007 Simple Green US Open. Appeared to have lost the match to Alan Garner 11-9, but our referee James Comstock called for a replay after the point had ended. Very strange circumstance. Sean went on to win that match 11-10 and actually made the finals there when it appeared he was out of the event in the quarterfinals.
That's why I said that Sean Lenning and James Comstock actually have a history, some good, some bad. That was one of the good ones for Sean Lenning. And if you recall, some of the bad ones were really bad. There's a lot of, remember, a lot of complaining involved versus Tony Healy in the finals of 2008.
9-13.
Due to some bad calls. 9-13 here, though, first game. Not the Alvarado Jr. with his comeback after that knee surgery. And Sean Lenning, who should have had shoulder surgery, is in here playing with a bum right shoulder, but it doesn't appear that Noddy knows that.
Noddy with a great shot there, Dave. That ball hooked away from him down the right wall, and Noddy takes that ball into the left corner. I'm not sure if that was his intent, but it worked out. Sean's been in the finals of the last 2 U.S. Opens, Dave, in 2007 and 2008. Unfortunately for him, came up short in both those final matches, losing in tiebreakers to the Irishman. 11-10 to Paul Brady, and then 11-6 to Tony Healy.
13-10.
The score here is 13-10. Are you serious? You see that hook right there? If you're going to put a natural hook on a ball, you have to get it just over the short line, and then you'd want to hit the ball maybe at 75% of your normal stroke. That will really put a big wrinkle on the ball. Too many people hit it too hard or too soft, but one of the reasons why is because if you spin the ball the same as you would if you hit the ball hard or slow, that 1 3/4 is going to gather on the ground just a little bit better. And I see a lot of people that have a lot of great hooks, Dave, but they hit it too deep and it becomes a setup off the back wall. You need to get it just over the short line.
Side out.
And Sean Lenning knows exactly where to place that ball with his reverse, and then he sets it up reverse and a natural. You see Noddy looking back at Sean after Sean hit that ball to him, and the ball hit Noddy, and he looked back at Sean like, why'd you throw that ball at me?
The placement on the natural, Dave, a lot more important than the placement on the reverse. If that natural is hit too hard, it'll be a huge setup each time. The reverse, Dave, as you know, can run down that wall even if it comes off the back wall. Can still be an ace. Now we're going to have a 2-minute glove change here.
Actually, let's talk about that, because if you're right-handed and you're serving and you hit that reverse down the left wall, you can hit it as deep as you want before it's a long, and it's almost a free point. If it's a good reverse, it'll slide that wall up near the short line as it returns back. If you hit it just over the short line, the opponent's going to almost have to dive to get it, because it'll double or even triple bounce before the back wall if you hit it with enough velocity. But with a natural hook, you hit it deep toward the back wall, the ball will check up either going into the back wall or the sidewall first, and it's a huge setup to a pro player. Some other players might have troubles if they haven't seen it before, but if you get that ball just over the short line with a hook, a natural hook, there's so many different things that ball could do. It can check up immediately into that sidewall. It could get your opponent to come over to the sidewall really quick and then have to change his body position or his feet or her feet, and it becomes really such a great serve. Not necessarily aces come from it, but your opponent will actually float the ball.
This conversation actually takes a lot of imagination on the part of our listeners. I'm not sure when they lost you. I think it was about 5 minutes ago, though. But the bottom line is that to hit that naturally successful behind yourself, the placement has to be perfect. If it's too deep, it'll be a huge setup. If it's too close to the wall, it'll bounce into that wall and come out, which also isn't great. You see the tournament staff here, Dave, wiping down these walls.
You see John Bike Jr. in the court, also Tom Gilbert, and even Nadi Alvarado Sr. in there, making sure that these walls are clean. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Looking for handball gear, look no further than the USHA web store at ushandball.org. The web store has everything you need for handball: premium handball gloves, balls, shirts, shorts, hats. They can all be found at an affordable price and at the convenience of just ordering over the internet, which is pretty simple. Whether you are a handball pro or just curious first-timer, go check them out at their web store at ushandball.org. They've got everything you need. And we do too here, as we will provide this live coverage of the quarterfinals courtesy of Nifty TV, NIFTYTV.com. Nifty TV, your streaming online source for sports and more. Check them out if you're on the internet and browsing around during this timeout.
10-14.
10 serves 14, first game. Nadi Alvarado serving to Sean Lenning.
Neither player incredibly sharp right now, Dave. We've seen a lot of sort of sloppy play, players trading kills and also mistakes.
11-14.
Sean's been able to maintain that slight advantage that he built with that 10-2 run early in this first game.
Wow.
Really a great get there from Sean. Nadi's footwork just a little bit off on that ball, and there's a big hand air. And you see that's a ball that most pros, Dave, will pick up and re-kill pretty easily. Nadi's still not moving forward all that well.
14-11.
14 serves 11. A lot of side outs in this game. That's why we're stuck at 14-11 here with a lot of time clicking off the clock.
Smart shot there from Sean. Sensed Nadi coming up on his left. And Nadi with a dive.
Point.
Sean actually looked like he was trying to paddle that ball down the right. Mishit it just a little bit. And that ball rolling out just about in front of himself. Dave, as you know, when you dive forward like that in the left corner, it's difficult to hit that ball right back at yourself. Generally, you're going to try and flip that ball cross court, push your opponent into the deep court, either for a winning pass shot or to force a weak return.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball men's quarterfinal match between Sean Lenning and Nati Alvarado. My broadcast partner is our number 6 world-ranked pro, David Fink. Jeff Kastner with Kastner Video Productions right behind us, doing the engineering, scoreboard, camera switching, and all the elements you see here.
15-11.
Yours truly, Dave Vincent. Referee is James Comstoff. He's also on the microphone. Score is 15-11. Make that 16-11 here.
Difficult to get a feel for just how hard that ball is hit off the ceiling, Dave, and how far it comes off the back wall. But this ball is so quick. When you combine that with a serve that's moving, that hits Sean right in the eye. And Sean will take a couple of minutes here to compose himself. That was a very hard hit ball, Dave, but let's listen in here. Nadi's asking Sean if he's okay. This is why the pros are, and all players, Dave, are required to wear that eye gear.
Injury timeout.
And our referee has called for an injury timeout here. Sean Lenning will have 15 minutes should he.
I didn't say I was a smart member of the Psychic Friends Network, but I am.
Well, that would be an oxymoron.
That might be true. The WPH is member driven. If you like this live webcast, want to see more, please go to WPHpass.com, www.WPHpass.com. Support our innovation. Besides live streaming audio and video, we also provide the Dave Chapman Instructional DVD, World's Final DVD, National Finals DVD, a free Pro Tour t-shirt, produce videos that are on demand from the WPH. Total value of about $200 if you're going to purchase individually, but it's only $40 annually at the web store, WPHpass.com. Buy your membership, support the WPH innovation and this live webcast.
Okay, resuming play. Sean, you used 4 minutes of your injury timeout. We got 16 11.
16 to 11. You heard James Comstoff tell Sean that he had.
You see Sean flinch right there.
Sean had 4 minutes left on his injury timeout.
Second serve.
Actually, Sean only using 4 minutes, so he has 11 minutes left.
Side out.
You see Sean moving a little bit slowly there to pick up that ball down the right wall. You know, Dave, when you've taken some time off, you're just not as alert on the court as you would be playing in tournaments week after week.
Side out.
Naughty with a bad miss hit there. Naughty's never been known for his fly kill ability, Dave.
16-11.
He's one of the greatest shooters
Point.
in the history of the game with both hands, but not necessarily taking the ball out of the air. He takes the ball.
I called it no slide. I thought it was a good bounce. Did you see it? Do you agree?
Naughty appealing now.
Both agree. Ball stands. It's a point.
Naughty
Sean's
arguing
trying to give it to him. Sean,
We're going to replay it. Thank you, Sean.
see, they appealed the call, and the line judges said it didn't slide. The referee said it didn't slide, but Sean's telling the referee the whole time, I saw it slide. So Sean's trying to give it to him, and finally, the referee said, okay, I'll just go with what Sean Lenning's saying. Is handball the only sport in the world that would have that type of problem? Would you see the handball play against Team Ireland in soccer ever go the opposite way because, oh, wait a second, I actually touched it with my hand?
I actually
16-11.
agreed with our referee and linesman. That ball was not a slide. Really at a loss for words right now, Dave. You see Naughty struggling a little bit to move forward. Sean goes down to a knee, and Naughty just completely mishits that ball.
Point.
And Sean ironically wins that with a deep power fist that comes about 7 feet off the back wall after he had 3 chances to end it up in the front court with routine kills.
17-11.
Score is 17 to 11, favor of Sean.
You see Sean flinch again there. And that's a great kill there from Sean. Naughty's fisting that ball to the ceiling, Dave, but it's putting him in a bad spot with nearly every return. There's a big breaker. And you see
Point.
Naughty completely off balance here, Dave, during each rally. It doesn't look like he has his legs under him. He's not setting himself up, Dave, to make good
19-11.
shots.
Short.
You hear that sound, Dave? That was Sean's serve hitting that camera there in the front wall. Do we call that a camera or a hole? Or not really sure. Naughty lets that ball come across his body, Dave, and from 37 feet just rolls that ball in front of Sean with his right hand.
11-19.
Very difficult shot to execute. Amazing shot there from the freak.
And he put it in a good spot too, but Naughty's so aggressive.
Side out.
It almost seems that these guys are running a little too much for what they're having to do to get the points.
19-11. Hold it. Replay. Hold it. He wasn't ready. I called the score too soon. I'm sorry.
James Comstoff taking a page out of Tommy Little's book there and saying he's sorry. Or you're going to say Chip Morales?
That's what I would have said.
19-11.
Score is now 19 to 11. This is the first game. Men's quarterfinals. If you just tuned in.
That's an ace serve for Sean. That ball bounces twice
20. Game point
for
serves
the back
11.
wall. Here's the game point.
Side
Sean
out.
goes for a difficult kill there. That's a shot that is in his repertoire, though.
Every shot is in his repertoire, Dave.
11-20.
That was a nice little reverse. Didn't fool Sean, though.
Point.
Sean goes down to a knee for both shots in that rally. That's a shot I've seen Sean make quite a bit, Dave. When he goes down to his knee to re-kill, he'll punch, re-kill that ball right in front of himself. Naughty fooled him with a nice hop there. Sean mishits that.
12-20.
And Sean gets that ball, no?
Side out. Side out. He's appealing to get. I thought he got it.
We'll get a replay on this, Dave, from our guys in the truck. We've got a great angle. We'll actually do that between games here. It's now game point. I actually thought that might have bounced twice. That's one of the really difficult balls to call a 2 bounce on, Dave, because he dove forward, but his head was sort of, you know, couldn't really see the ball at the angle he dove. I thought he might have trapped that ball on the second bounce.
From my angle, it just looked confusing to me, like something went wrong there, and you see that Sean looked over at Noddy and said double bounce, or they had some kind of communication, but
Sean wasn't sure either.
I thought I saw 2 bounces just from that front camera angle. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Sean Lenning winning this first game.
20-12.
If he gets one more point.
Sean reverses that ball and gets the ace. Noddy's slipping there on the floor. Let's see, Dave, now if we can get a replay of that 20th point. Sean diving in for that re-kill. Sean closes out that game with a nice reverse deep into that left corner. You know, Dave, we talked about this match being sort of a battle of 2 unknowns. I still think we expected Noddy Jr. to be the favorite here, Dave, and didn't look like the favorite in that first game. Sean completely controlling the action there. Fell behind 3-0 early in the first game, and from there just completely dominating the 37-year-old legend.
Simple Green is your all-purpose cleaner and degreaser, biodegradable, non-toxic, and concentrated. The original green cleaner for over 35 years. Go to simplegreen.com to find out more, or just purchase it in the store. Simple Green, they are supporting handball. They always have. It's almost been 35 years since they've been in existence, since they've been promoting professional handball, and here they are doing their event back. Started in 2006 when Paul Brady won the pro division for the men, and Anna Engel also won the women's divisions. We had Marcos Chavez and Vince Munoz winning that year. In fact, that doubles team won every single year down here, 2006, 7, and 8. It was Paul Brady winning in 2007, but then losing in 2008 in the quarterfinals to Luis Moreno. That year, it was Tony Healy defeating Sean Lenning to win the finals in the men's singles. Anna Engel won in 2007, but then she did not win in 2008, where I believe Lisa Frazier-Gilmore took it that year.
We'll have to scroll through the record books for that one, Dave. I'm actually not sure.
Megan Mihilis. Sorry that I didn't have that readily available, and normally it's right there in the...
Fortunately, you have that in your hard drive there, and you pulled that up.
The mental hard drive. Simple Green, though, they've been around for a long time, and they're helping us out. They're helping out handball. They're online at simplegreen.com. First game going to Sean Lenning. This is the men's quarterfinal match. Sean Lenning defeating Nate Alvarado, the 4 and 5 seeds here. You see they're really working on the courts here, and the reason why is because it's just damp outside. They have big fans. You can hear that audible sound that's coming through through probably your speakers at home, wherever you're at right now. The big, huge fans are trying to blow this court and make sure that it is staying dry, but they're having a lot of troubles with that wall over there. The right side wall, it's to our left as we look in from the front wall. And then you saw the floor wet where Nate Alvarado went for that last one. What happens is the rain is going down between the walls where the condensation's building up, and it's making the floors damp. So they're really working on the show court for us. Eventually, they're going to open up that side door and let some air in, and hopefully that will reduce some of the humidity and precipitation that's building up.
It's interesting, Dave, because the air conditioning's blowing here in this building, and it's pretty cool. But when you start playing, it's incredible how much you sweat.
Right, we've got all of the courts out here with nearly 300 players in this event, and that's really led to a lot of condensation building up right here on the court. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. If you like what you see, become a member of the United States Handball Association. Go to their web store at ushandball.org and become a member today. This is a USHA sanctioned tournament, And if you see one of their representatives, employees, volunteers, or donors, make sure to thank them for their hard work and everything that they have done to help out the sport of handball. We are here today at Los Caballeros Sports Village. We're in Fountain Valley, California. In the past, we would always say it's sunny Southern California. I mean, we've said that every single year. 2006, we were here a couple times. We had the Nationals here, also the U.S. Open. Then in 7 was U.S. Open, and then 8 U.S. Open. 9 was the Nationals year, and then here we are back in 10 again.
So you went to your mental hard drive to talk about the weather now.
Well, every single year.
2006 to 2009.
2000 and in 2008, that's the year that we had the fires here. In 2007, it was extremely hot. We never really had rain other than the Nationals of 2006, where it was really damp. And now it's like a 4-year trend.
Luis Moreno winning that match 21-20, 21-12.
Here we are at the show court of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball at Los Cab in Fountain Valley, California. And a lot of people said to me, you know, where is Fountain Valley at? I mean, I've heard of all those other, you know, big names like Anaheim and Los Angeles and Venice Beach, or, you know, Huntington Beach, but it's not that far away from Huntington Beach. And if you've ever flown into John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, we're just like 4 miles away from there. So it's, if you can think of that airport, just think about 4 miles away down the 405 towards San Diego. But it's a really neat little kind of bedroom community here. And I think there's a lot of, you know, industrial parks. And I noticed that Starbucks has their headquarters here. And you see a lot of those buildings, like Hyundai has their national headquarters here as well. And there's a lot of that sort of thing going on. It's not really a town, but they are incorporated. We're right next to a post office as you leave the facility here. And so we're right, I would say, dead center in Fountain Valley, California. This production video brought to you by Jeff Castor and the video production that he provides. Nifty TV, they are your online source for watching television over the internet. NIFTYTV.com. I actually browsed their site yesterday. A ton of stuff available, from UFC to football. They're all over the spectrum. Soccer.
This has unofficially been a 9.5-minute break between games here, Dave. Not sure what the holdup is. It looks like we've got a new ball in there.
This might be the ball number 4. It's moving very fast.
This ball definitely does not look like it's bouncing appropriately.
I think one of the reasons why we saw that big delay is that they're really worried about the safety of the players. Nadi slid on that last play. I think both players are coming out and saying the balls are sliding on the ground out here.
I actually don't think he slipped on a wet spot. There's actually, the floor was just redone, Dave, and there's a couple of real slick spots, including the lines of the court.
0-0.
The lines were just repainted, Dave, and they're very slick.
Point.
And there's Sean, just a total miss hit there, but Nadi unable to change directions and move up to that ball to cover that kill.
1-0.
Score is 1-0.
You know, Dave, Nadi relying solely on shot making at this point, Dave, because he really does not have the ability to retrieve that we're used to seeing from Nadi Jr. Normally, Nadi's one of the quickest guys that you'll see on the court. He's certainly limited right now in his movement. That's a tremendous serve, and Sean does well to pick that ball up. Nadi, with a little showtime, goes behind the back there. Nadi frustrated with himself, Dave. He had a simple opportunity to win that point. Sean with a weak return after a great serve from Nadi, and Nadi just a little bit flat-footed and didn't bend and left that ball up down the right wall, and Sean wins that point. There's a big mistake there from Nadi. You see Sean goes to that 2-wall pass, a very effective shot.
Did you notice, or is it just me, that Sean Lenning seems to be a little bit more jovial this tournament than in times past, where he's a little bit less social in other tournaments? Here he seems very relaxed.
You know what's interesting, Dave, is I think he just misses being around the sport. He hasn't been around these tournaments nearly as often as we're accustomed to seeing him, Dave. And I saw him yesterday, and he was just happy to see me.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody happy to see me in probably 3 or 4 years. Sean was just chest bumping, fist pumping, kissing hands and shaking babies all day yesterday. This morning he was putting odds against himself to lose to Nadi. Look at that hook. He looks really good in here. I'm sure he's just having fun.
That's generally when you'll play your best, Dave, is when you are having fun.
How would you know? Score is 3-0.
I was playing a practice match one time, Dave, and I was having a good time, and I was really playing well. It was 7 years ago. I remember it well.
Huh. Back when you were
3-0.
6 years old? Sorry. Actually, I'm not.
You would be. There's Sean with an off-balance kill, and you'll see this, Dave, with any of the top players. Once they find that comfort zone,
4-0.
there's really no limits to the shots that you can hit. And you see Nadi with a terrible error there. Looks like he's going to take a timeout here.
Timeout. First timeout.
Nadi with a relatively easy shot. His rival Dave Chapman actually opening the door for him. You see Nadi taking that revolving door shot there, and we call that the revolving door, Dave, when it bounces into the left side wall and then comes around the back wall. Nadi just shanking that ball into the floor, right at his foot.
Since you're watching this live webcast and we're in the middle of a timeout, consider going on to your favorite social network site and telling all of your friends to watch the live feed. It's very simple.
Just now you mentioned your favorite social networking site. Isn't there only one?
Oh, we have Twitter. There's MySpace. There's Facebook. There's Bebo. Want me to keep going?
Yeah, I do.
Mind Monkey.
Mind Monkey. Huh.
You want to try that one out? Adultfriendfinder.com. Sorry. If you have a if you have a favorite social website, go on to it and just post the link, niftytv.com/WPH. It's that simple. And say, I'm there now.
Not leaving there.
I'm still there.
5-0.
Sean Lenning, Dave, is a lot like you driving from Tucson to this beautiful event in cruise control. Just cruising right now through the desert. Sean goes to, never seen Sean use that serve before. You see Dave, Sean's strong enough to lean back with his left hand from 28 feet, taking that ball shoulder height and roll it into the corner.
Sean
6-0.
Sean is strong enough to do everything that your coach told you not to do when he was teaching you how to play handball or hit a ball off the back wall or in the middle of rallies. In fact, if you watch the Dave Chapman instructional video, he told
defies
you
just about everything in that video.
Which Sean is the example of what not to do.
Unless you're a freak.
Point.
And you see Dave, Sean just cruising right now. Very sharp here
7-0.
early in this second game. And, you know, you'll see that because Nadi's just not putting any pressure on Sean whatsoever.
He's appealing a slide ball. I thought it was a good bounce. You agree? Abe, he's appealing a slide. I thought it was good. Both agree. Both hands. What?
Nadi now asking for a slide on that serve. I didn't see one. Sean will not overturn this call. You have to remember, Dave, that these players are hitting the ball with so much spin
Second serve.
that a lot of times that ball will catch the sidewall and keep going because you put so much reverse or natural on it, whatever it may be. You see Nadi just missing a simple shot. He's got no momentum whatsoever right now, Dave. He's very flat. And Dave, you know the feeling better than anybody in handball when you're down 9-0 and you wonder if you'll ever score again. For
9-0.
you actually don't.
Short.
It's a feeling I've had for the duration of my career in handball. I embrace it. Learn to live with it.
It slid. Yeah, it's up.
You are a
Short ball.
39-time winner of the Dave Vincent Senior Memorial event.
Second serve.
So you have that going for you.
We called it the memorial event while he was still alive, which was classy. When he passed away, we all had a committee meeting and said, what are we going to call it now?
Point.
Sean going down to one knee on a sort of a one-knee slide and rolls that ball. Great camera angle from the truck there, Dave. When I say the truck, yeah, we do have a A couple of 18-wheelers out there with Jeff Kastner leading the production crew. He's got about
11-0.
well, no other cameraman in those big trucks.
Just himself.
But he is in charge.
12-0.
Score is 12-0. Nadi Alvarado lost the first one, 21-12 versus Sean Lenning. Now Sean's just rolling. Pun slightly intended. 13-0.
13-0.
I don't think any of us expected this, Dave. In fact,
Replay.
thought we'd see Nadi. That's not a good call there. That's called playing the man rather than playing the ball. Nadi forcing that contact on a ball he knew he wanted no part of. Sean knew it.
See Sean flinching. He got earlier. He got hit right in the face from Nadi. I was expecting a huge natural or reverse from Sean on that one.
Side out.
You just never know from him. He'll break it off in the middle of the rally. And, you know, Sean's just one of the most dangerous players in today's world. You know, I mean, he has a strange way of playing. Very offensive, but also unorthodox.
13.
You get the sense, Dave, that this isn't even close to the Sean Lenning that we've known throughout the years. And you see just laughing now at Jake. Not a good call there. But you know, Dave, you'd say Sean's in about third gear right now. He's got about 6 gears that he can shift to.
Unfortunately for Sean, one of those gears means compromising that right shoulder. And he said he did that before at the Tucson event, the Fireball Classic, the inaugural Classic. He said he shifted to that, I'm going to play like a pro player now. And he said he knew his shoulder hurt, but he said, I'm just going to play as hard as I can. And he ended up hurting it more.
It's true. Sean had a good opportunity to not only win that 4-wall event where he lost in the semifinals, but lost to Willie Polanco 11-10 in the 1-wall quarterfinals. And Willie Polanco went on to win that event. I can remember that well. Sean had a shot at 10-9 in that tiebreaker from about 6 feet from the front wall and just skipped it.
Look at that get right there from Sean Lenning.
Sean pushes Nadi back again.
Side out.
It's one of the best examples of Sean Lenning. Players will hit the ball right at him, and he just takes that left or right and just kind of, I don't even know how to explain it, he just kind of does a little short punch, and he's able to slide walls with either his right or his left hand. So even when you think you get him off balance, he could either make that an offensive shot, go to the ceiling, or just slide you on both sides. If you just tuned in, you're not seeing this in air. Nadi Alvarado Jr. only has 0 here.
Replay.
Wonder if Sean did that on purpose. That was a joke.
Very difficult, Dave, to control that fist to the ceiling from coming off the back ball when that serve is moving so fast. You're taking 85 miles per hour of velocity, using your fist to try and keep that ball off the back wall. There's really only one person that can do that consistently, and he's sitting in the front row.
13-0. Short.
That's right, it's Charlie Wicker.
Second serve.
Hi, kid. Nadi right now, Dave, finding out that
Point.
it's very difficult for even the most talented of athletes to come back after a long layoff and compete at this
14-0.
top pro level.
I think also the seating committee members are also seeing that.
Second serve.
You would hope so.
14-0 here, second game.
And Dave, don't forget, Sean Lenning is one of the most competitive people.
There it is. Look at that shot from
It's
Sean.
just incredible.
They hit like 4 walls.
Sean's one of the most competitive people you'll ever meet, Dave. And he wants to shut you out. That's his goal.
I want to say hello to
Mark
Mark Gilmer from Midland, Texas, watching the live webcast here. This is game number 2, 0-2-14. actually make that 1-14. Crowd likes it, though. Nadi Alvarado is now on the board.
Nadi's got a French fry.
14. Short.
You have to
We've
remember.
seen bigger comebacks in this, Dave, in handball. Nadi Jr. actually a part of it. Beat Marcos Chavez 21-0 in the first game, led 13-0 in the second game. Went on to lose that second game 21-15 and win the tiebreaker 10-6. That was actually the first live webcast in history, I believe, Dave. I know you were a big part of that.
That was a 2006 WAC Classic in Seattle.
Ding, ding, ding.
Did I get any points on that?
We have a winner.
Wow. That was,
well done.
That was leap year, I believe.
Replay.
It was a January, February webcast. Started in one
I believe
month
it was
and ended in
February.
February, March.
That's
maybe.
true.
Okay.
14-1.
14 serves 1. This is game number 2.
That was actually the reason I'm back here today, Dave. I'd been in retirement for about 7 years at that time. Got the bug watching that webcast, Dave. And I had an unscratchable itch when I watched the 2006 US Open webcast later that year.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley alongside Dave Fink. I'm Dave Vincent. Jeff Kastner's in the booth doing all of the video work right behind us here. We're located in court number 1 and we're watching on a video monitor. So when you look from this camera angle, look back, dead center, you see that Simple Green sign up top, dead center up. We're in that area about where Sean Lenning's standing on the other side of the court. Not like I really believe anybody cares much about where we're positioned, Dave, but that's where we're at. The score here is 1-14 in favor of Sean Lenning. Nadi Alvarado serving. He lost the first game 21-12.
Point.
Sean's going to peel that.
Feeling the serve, I called it good. Both disagree.
That
Short
serve was
ball.
way short, Dave. That ball was well
Second
inside the
serve.
line.
You see no complaint from Nadi Alvarado there.
Nadi, Dave, just not able to
Point.
adjust his feet, and Sean with the same problem.
Sean,
but you know, Dave, there's a lot of balls in the court that'll bounce just a little bit differently than you expect.
2-14.
If Nadi's feet were moving a little bit better, he'd make those adjustments. But unfortunately for him right now, Dave, his feet are just not cooperating. You don't know if it's the knee, Dave, or maybe a little bit of lack of play. Could be a combination.
Side out.
wow, that was just a terrible ceiling return from Nadi.
Nadi does have a nice ceiling game, Dave.
14-2.
We haven't seen the ball go to the roof very often in this match, and nor would we expect it. Great shot there from
ball,
Sean.
side out.
Excuse me. That ball comes up short. I don't have the great eyesight that you do, Dave Vincent. Doesn't stop me from arguing every short call.
It's a good point.
2-14.
So I can't see the street sign until I'm right underneath it.
Point.
That ball straightens out there for Nadi, and Sean's cooled off quite a bit here, Dave. Still with a substantial 14-3 lead.
3-14.
Still needs to win 7 more points to book his spot
Slide ball, replay.
in the semis. You know, Sean really let that swing go off the back wall there, Dave. That was vintage Sean Lenning. Drove that ball cross court
3-14.
with a nice natural on it. That ball did slide though. And that's a good return there, Dave. That's sort of that big ball coming across the outside of the ball, back down the left, and that ball will straighten out down the left wall, and very difficult return when that ball slides on the left wall off the back wall. I think that's a more effective return, Dave, than that fist to the ceiling that invariably comes 15 feet off the back wall.
You know, if Nadi was able to, we've kind of written him off here, but let's just imagine him getting 3 points and a couple side outs in concession. He could be right back in this, Dave. I mean, Sean's making some silly mistakes right now. I could see something like that happen. Now you can hear Lupita Alvarado bike screaming for her brother in there.
4-14.
She's always been his moral support. 4-14. Gets that serve going.
Great return there from Sean. Nadi goes back up to the ceiling.
He's shaking his head. He's not happy with that. And that's the reason why. Look at that shot from Sean Lenning.
That's a mouse. That ball didn't bounce. Flat kill from 37 feet into the right corner.
14-4.
That time we did see Sean use the corner first. Nadi with a great return, and Sean an amazing get. Nadi hits that mystery ball there, Dave.
Side out.
Sean missed playing that ball, anticipated that ball straight down the left wall. That ball came right out almost to the middle of the court, and Sean was crouched down there in front of Nadi.
He was
4-14.
He was barreling up there.
Almost could have been a screen. I didn't see Sean complain though.
He would have slowed down maybe.
Side out.
You see Nadi just really struggling off the back wall. Anything in that back left corner, Dave, has been
14-4.
a miss hit or an error. Here's another chance. Nadi brings that ball back. A smart shot. And that's really the problem against Sean Lenning, Dave. A smart shot can be rolled out at your feet.
Nadi's going to take a timeout here, or he's going to ask for a washcloth. Nadi going to get that court figured out.
Actually, when a towel that size, we'd actually call that a towel.
I just thought I'd say something different. WPH Handball Store has gloves, balls, shirts, shorts, ice bags, shoes, DVDs, and memberships. Go to thehandballstore.com now to purchase your gear. Now that's 16-4 game number 2. Sean Lenning looks like he's going to go into the semifinals.
That's a poor service. You'll see Sean hit, and Nadi drives it into the ground.
Sometimes
that's a great serve there from Sean. You see Sean with a big hook on that ball. That ball catches the sidewall with so much spin that it just rolls out. Sean with a short serve. We'll see if he goes to that deep left wall crack serve, or maybe this soft underhand serve. That's sort of that mirage serve, and Nadi's still struggling, Dave, with that ball off the back wall. We saw that
18-4.
last weekend as well.
Short.
For whatever reason, Dave, as you know, when you do take a layoff from the game, the back wall is the last thing to come back. There's a setup, and Sean takes care of it. Sean's wearing out that left corner and right corner now. Just 2 points from the semifinals.
19-4.
The winner of this will be playing a Midwesterner.
Side out. Minutes, glove change.
Now there's going to be a 2-minute glove change. You're watching the 2010 Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, Fountain Valley, California. Los Caballeros Sports Village. Simple Green all-purpose cleaner, non-toxic, biodegradable, and concentrated. Custom dilute for use all over your home and garage, indoors and out. In fact, if you put more in, it for maybe a little bit more of the heavy projects, or you can lighten it up with adding a little bit more water, and you get a clean that will be on more of the gentle type fabrics, or cleaning surfaces that you might not want to ruin the finish on. It's really used in and out. In fact, I even saw in the store the other day, Dave, that for people who like to barbecue, they've got a Simple Green cleaner for your barbecue grill that you have to remember, this is a degreaser, and it's also environmentally friendly, so you can spray that stuff all over the backyard, and you're not going to hurt any animals or anything that's alive. Go green, save green with Simple Green. Trusted for over 35 years. They're online at simplegreen.com, and you know they've been supporting Handball for years. Support the sport by supporting Simple Green. The U.S. Open of Handball, game number 2, was Nadi Alvarado losing the first game 21-10 versus Sean Lenning. And you see he's got a major mountain to climb here. After that surgery, he's not the same Nadi Alvarado. You got the same Nadi Alvarado seed, but he's not the same Nadi Alvarado. The score 19-4 here as they take that 2-minute timeout. You're going to see this a lot. Mark Shelgren over on the right-hand side is, to our right, is cleaning off the floor. He's the current four-wall 45, I believe, or excuse me, 40-year-old national champion with John Bike. He's over there cleaning off the courts with the red shirt on. Sean Lenning's making way to come in and score his final 2 points so he can rest that shoulder of his. He is going to play either Dave Chapman or Tommy Little in
Sean
tomorrow's
Lenning,
action.
Dave, spent most of his summer in Las Vegas playing in the World Series of Poker. He played in 4 events there, actually cashed in 2 of them. So Sean is certainly a great poker player.
I Googled Sean Lenning's name today and then went to Google Pictures to see what would come up, and the first 15 things I saw were all
4-19.
Texas Hold'em pictures. He's almost bigger in Texas Hold'em than he is in popularity in handball, which is hard to believe.
Side out.
Sean had the whole right side of the court there and went right back at Nadi. Nadi unable to change directions back to his left.
19-4.
Sean just 2 points now from semifinals. That's where we expect to see Sean Lenning, Dave. He's been in the limelight and in the big matches in handball for the last 4 or 5 years.
Short.
Sean's been in the 4-wall national finals. He's been in the U.S. Open finals. He's won a number of 3-wall national championships. This is where Sean belongs. And just a beautiful left corner kill there, Dave, from the freak from about 37 feet. Sean goes down to one knee there and digs that ball up. Just a great shot there from Sean. You see Sean come over that ball with a left fist out of the air, Dave, and run it down the right side wall. And that should do it.
And there it is, round of applause from the crowd here at the Los Caballeros Sports Village, Fountain Valley, California. Sean Lenning once again advancing to the semifinals, defeating Nadi Alvarado Jr. 21-12, 21-4. Sean Lenning now going to face the winner of Dave Chapman and Tommy Little. We're going to take a break here at the facility at Los Cab. For Dave Fink and Jeff Kastner, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit. Thanks out to Simple Green for running the tournament, as well as the Nadi Alvarado family, and Nifty TV for providing the stream, of course, and the World Players of Handball. We'll be back in just